Yes. So the Jan 2025 CA Inter audit paper, how the question paper pattern is going to be. From which topics we will get descriptive, from which topics we will get MCQs. Not only that, the first thing that we need to identify is what are the complex topics that we have in the CA Inter audit. Like what are the complex topics? So the complex topics are as below. Like, first you must understand what syllabus we have. It's not about chapters. Like everybody knows that there are 11 chapters. But exactly inside each chapter, what are the subtopics that are there? For example, if you look at risk assessment, we have totally 6 subtopics. What are they? Risk assessment. See, actually risk assessment and internal control is the one of the lengthiest chapter. Inside that, all, like if you remember in our material, we have 50 questions. Plus, we have a standard called 330 separately. These 50 questions we split it into multiple subparts. Some of them are dealing with risk assessment, some of them are dealing with materiality standard, some of them are dealing with internal control topic, and some are dealing with automated environment, some are dealing with IFC, internal financial controls related to financial statements, and SA 330. Correct? Now, if you look at the actual entire, don't worry, this PDF I will share it to you. Okay, you can download this, not an issue. So first chapter is nature, objective and scope of audit. Inside this, what topics we have? Basically, what is the objective of audit, what are the scope of audit, what are the various aspects to be covered in audit, what are the inherent limitations in audit, what is an engagement, what are various types of engagements, why standards are necessary, yes or no. Within this, what is most important if you ask me? Scope of audit is most important. Within nature, objective and scope of audit, scope of audit topic, various aspects to be covered in audit. What are the principal aspects to be covered in audit? Inherent limitations. What are various types of engagements? These 4 topics are generally said to be important. Again, I'll come up with a different video or whatever different. We will discuss one more thing. What are the important questions that you should never leave? What are the important questions or topics that you should not leave? That also we will discuss. That we will first, I will compile it and then I will discuss it with you. Okay, but I'm just telling you, first understand the chapter structure. Each and every chapter, what are the topics are there, first if you understand, that's enough. Like many students, they forget what are the topics that they read, what are the topics that they already gone through, they forget. They think 11 chapters, these chapters I will study, these chapters I will ignore. No, that's not how it should be done. You should clearly understand what are the subtopics that we have, from which subtopic MCQs are possible, from which subtopic description is possible. You must have an idea. Now, nature, objective and scope of audit, 4 key concepts. One is scope of audit, principal aspects to be covered in audit, and type of engagements. What is an engagement, different types of engagement, who are the parties in engagements, like what are the components in an engagement, 3-party relationship, subject matter will be there, applicable criteria will be there, remember that, like that. So that one, and inherent limitations. These are the 4 important questions in the 4 important topics within NOS chapter. Then we have second topic, actual second chapter heading, if you see ICA book, ethics and terms of engagement, but actually they have 3 topics inside that. One is ethics is there, terms of audit engagement is there, quality control is there. Ethics is taken from code of ethics of ICA, which is where you will get pakka 3 to 5 marks question, pakka 3 to 5 marks question, or maybe 5 marks question. Then terms of audit engagement, 210 standard related. What is there in the 210 standard? What is an engagement letter? What are the contents of engagement letter? What are preconditions to audit? Correct? What is a recurring audit? I mean, whether engagement letter is required in a recurring audit or not. Changes in terms of engagement, what auditor has to do. If there is a request for changes in terms, what auditor has to do? Remember? Yes or no? So those 4 topics were there. All the 4 are equally important. We don't know which will be asked. Getting it? Then quality control, SQC 220, both are there. Within these 2 items, leadership responsibilities is there, right? You can keep it as a last priority in that. monitoring and leadership responsibility both can be kept as last priority. Rest of the responsibilities is compulsory, you need to study. What are the rest of the elements? Ethical requirements, acceptance and continuation of client relationship, engagement performance, human resources. These four elements you must and should study in SQC and 220 both. Leadership you can keep it at last, monitoring you can keep it at last. Understood? So ethics, terms of audit and quality control, I think all the three I covered. Then we have something called audit report chapter. And by the way, in the second chapter, no, terms of audit, engagement, quality control and ethics, no, MCQ rare. You don't generally get MCQ from this particular second chapter. Even from the first chapter, nature and objective and scope also, MCQ is very rare. It's extreme rare. Getting it? From these two chapters, MCQs are generally not that possible. Then coming to the third chapter, audit report, where MCQs are possible, case-based scenarios can be given. Of course, descriptive questions also can be given. Now, in 700, only one descriptive question that is possible is qualitative aspects of entities accounting practices and specific evaluations. Two descriptive questions are possible. One is qualitative aspects of entities accounting practices. Two, specific evaluations to be made by the auditor. Remember those two I even told in the class also 700, even in the material we highlighted, yes or no? Coming to 701, key audit matter. What are the factors that assist the auditor in selection of key audit matter? That is important question. Factors in determining key audit matter. Another one, applicability of key audit matter. Applicability of key audit. And we know that disclaimer of opinion, key audit matter is not at all applicable. Correct? These two topics important in key audit matter. Coming to 705. Inside that, one topic is there. What is that, you know? The nature of modified opinion. What are the factors the auditor shall take into account in determining which type of modified opinion to be given? Nature of the matter giving rise to the modification, effect or possible effect of pervasiveness, yes or no? On what basis the type of modified opinion is decided? That question is important in 705. 2. Another descriptive question important in 705, you know, limitation on the auditor. If there is a limitation on the auditor, diagram will be there. If the auditor is unable to obtain evidence, yes or no, that question. 3, how basis for modified opinion paragraph will be modified for different reasons. How basis for modified opinion will be, how basis for modified opinion paragraph will be modified for different reason. These 3 topics are important. Like those of you, if you are unable to open the book, just I will upload this video on the YouTube also. Just go through that video and then pick up those topics later. Next. Then coming to 706, you know, MCQ is possible, descriptive is also possible. What is an emphasis of matter paragraph? Circumstances when it is used. That is one descriptive question which is possible. Another descriptive question under 706 is what is the manner of presentation of emphasis of matter paragraph? That descriptive question is also possible. Then 710. 710, comparative information, corresponding figures, comparative financial statements. Inside that, audit reporting, one point will be there. What is the reporting requirement? Common reporting requirement, like that I told one point in our book 710. Common reporting requirement is there. Common reporting requirement means if the previous year financials were audited by other auditor, in the current year in the other matter paragraph we should report that 710. That common reporting requirement is, that is important. That alone is important. Then 299, joint audit. In the joint audit, what are the cases where combined responsibility will be there? That question is important. Special considerations is right. Special considerations by joint auditors. That question is important. These two are generally important in joint audit. Then coming to 570, entire 570 is important. There is no specific identification within that because almost every subtype of question in 570 is asked. Every time it is asked. Getting it? Pakka 570 question will come. Every attempt Pakka 5 marks question will come from 570. If you ask me what are the Pakka questions, okay, I'll do one thing. At the end of the video I'll summarize from which topics Pakka question can be expected, or else right now I will list it out. You know, SQC 220 Pakka, 570 question Pakka. Okay, 700 or 705 put together one pakka question. 710 one pakka question. 706 or 710 put together one pakka question. By the way, correct? Now just I'll go back and get back to it. Caro, you may get a question, may not get a question, but many a times it will be asked. In very rare 1 or 2 attempts only, no testing at all done, but many times from Caro question will come. Okay, then 143 subsection 3 checklist is there, right? You can leave it if you want. Getting it? 143 subsection 3 16 items will be there. Funding party, yeah, that you can leave it. Understood until now? Clear? Then coming to the fourth chapter is what? Completion and review. Remember, I am only now covering list of topics that we have. This is not order of study. Order of revision is different. The order in which you need to revise the subject is different. Now, completion and review. Here we have totally 5 standards. 570 I already covered as part of audit report topic. Getting it? 265, 450, 580. From these 3 topics, only descriptive is possible. 560 is the only topic where MCQ might come or descriptive might come. And 580 fully you have to study. 560 fully you have to study. Anything can be asked. 450, 265, there also you have to study fully. But remember, 265 standard is something, though it is there as part of 4th chapter, you should study after completion of risk assessment topic. You should study after completion of risk assessment topic. Then from this 4th chapter, you will have a minimum weightage of 5 up to 10. Sometimes it will go up to 15 also. Sometimes it will go up to 15 also. Remember, we have totally 11 chapters. We have totally 11 chapters. Our weightage is 120 marks. 114 to 120 approximately. 114 is the minimum weightage we will get. 70 marks plus choice 20%. 84 marks plus descriptive 30, which is 114. Or maximum sometimes if the examiner want to give, he can give even for 120 also he can give. Which means 11 chapters 120 means pakka from each chapter 5 to 10 highly possible. From pakka from each chapter highly 5 to 10 marks is easily possible. But from some chapters maybe 15 marks can also be given. Next, audit documentation, pakka 5 marks question, 3 to 5 marks. Wherever I say 5 means it may be either a 3 marks question or maybe up to 5 marks question also. Then audit evidence topic, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 standards we have, where minimum weightage is 10, maximum weightage from this chapter is 20 marks. Minimum weightage is 10, maximum is 20. If you observe, no, in this entire PDF, whatever I've highlighted with blue color, there MCQ is possible. Get generally, okay? So wherever I've highlighted with blue, there MCQ is possible. You see, 501 is the only standard MCQ is possible. 530 is another standard where MCQ is possible from the entire chapter called audit evidence. But rare cases remaining also can be tested. At every topic when we are discussing in the class, how an MCQ can be tested in every topic we discussed. Almost in every topic when we are discussing, how an MCQ is possible in a particular topic also we understood. But this is the composition of the chapter. Audit evidence consists of all these topics, correct? Then audit strategy planning. 10 to 15 marks pakka from this chapter. This chapter is actually small but very complex. The terminology used is very complex. Okay, so 10 to 15 marks. Then risk assessment 10 to 15 marks. Then we have bank audit 5 marks to 8 marks. Very rare, no question will come. Very rare. When it will not come, we don't know. If you look at ICI weightage, ICI section wise, skill wise weightage, so some chapters put together they will give weightage. Means from that particular set of chapters, some chapters they may test, they may not test. Able to understand? Next, items of financial statements. We have balance sheet items, we have P&L items. There is something called additional regulatory information. There is something called additional regulatory information. Balance sheet items, P&L items, additional regulatory information. So pakka from additional regulatory information 5 marks will come every time. From balance sheet item 5 marks will come, 4 or 5 marks. From P&L item 4 or 5 marks will come. From each segment a 4 or 5 marks question will come. Additional regulatory information in the ICA book, if you see, it is not given separately. It is given as part of every item. Under each balance sheet item, additional regulatory information is there. Under each P&L item, additional regulatory information is there. Directly from the additional regulatory information, 4 marks question might come. P&L item, some 4 marks question. Balance sheet item, some 4 marks question. Maximum 12 marks. maximum 12, generally 12. In the last attempt September 24 or even May 24 also, it is only asked for 12 marks. Getting it? Now complex topics in the entire syllabus that we have, first I have explained you what is the, by the way, different types of entities. Again, we have government audit, we have cooperative societies audit, we have local bodies, we have NGOs. These four are major topics, right? These four are major topics in the different types of entities. Remaining all other topics like hospital audit, education institute audit, hotel audit, cinema theater audit, all that. So I will keep them as remaining topics. Now within the entire syllabus, these are generally complex. SQC 220 complex to read and understand and remember. Audit strategy is complex. 530, 520 is complex. 450 is complex. Risk assessment and internal control, not entire risk assessment and internal control. IC part only complex. Test of controls under 330 alone is complex. Internal control topic is complex. 330 related, that to test of control topic is only complex. Rest of the risk assessment internal control chapter is easy. Like risk assessment discussion, materiality discussion, automated environment discussion, they are quite easy. Yes or no? Only test of controls and IC topic is difficult. IFC is also easy. Yes or no? So in the risk assessment, typically speaking, 50% of the chapter is easy, 50% of the chapter is complex. Now when you are studying, no, this is the order of preparation. First finish nature, objective and scope of audit, then finish ethics, terms of engagement, even quality control. Quality control means what? SQC 220, that also you finish. Then come back to audit report, then come back to audit report, and then immediately corporate societies, full syllabus. No, nothing should be pending. Revise and then go next chapter. Audit documentation, revise fully. Completion and review, 570, 580, 560, revise it. 450, 265, keep it pending. These two topics you should read when, after completing risk assessment and internal control. Then only these two topics you have to study. Then audit evidence, whatever in the ICA order is there, whatever in our book order is there, in that order only you go ahead. Except 530 and 520. Only 530, 520, keep it pending. When you're revising also same strategy. Then finish bank audit, then finish items of financials, then finish government audit, local body audit, NGO, LLP audit. Then if you still have time remaining, then come back to audit strategy topic. You still have time. Then come back to 530 and 520, then 450, then risk assessment and internal control. Within that also, this is the order to be followed. Risk assessment, materiality, IFC, automated environment, ICS and then 330. But before ICS and 330, cover 450. I told you 450, 265 you should read after risk assessment and internal control. So better I will do one thing. 450 I will replace it here. 450, 265, not here. So before ICS, correct? Correct? 450, 265. So that's it. Understood? So this is the order in which you should study. Now one more thing, like you will find for sure top 100 questions, top 150 questions like that. In our syllabus itself we have 400. Hardly if you count all the questions, sub questions all put together, 400 to 450 is the questions. 150 questions means risk only, na? Obviously 150 means anyhow you are studying 1/3. It's not even number of questions you should compare. You should see that 150 questions addressing how many concepts. Typically speaking, whatever guess questions or expected questions, that videos which are coming on the YouTube, getting it, they almost cover 60 to 70% of the syllabus. If you observe, if you pay attention, they cover 60 to 70% of the syllabus. And trend analysis don't even consider. Why? Every chapter pakka question will come. Trend analysis, there is no point. Size of the chapter is equal to that many marks. As simple as such. If the chapter is big, you will get high weightage from that chapter. Otherwise, normal weightage. As simple as such. Getting it? If at all you want to take choice, for example, you want to reduce some syllabus burden. This is the last one, I'll conclude. If at all you want to reduce, you can't study this much. For sure, I want to leave some topics. What topics you can leave? Within risk assessment and internal control chapter, test of control topic, internal control topic, test of controls under SA 330, this you can leave because this is very complex. Correct? You can leave government audit. You can leave government audit. If at all you want to leave, you can leave government audit. You can leave even 450 and 265. 265 actually easy. 450 you can leave, 530 you can leave, 520 also you can leave. You're getting it? These three topics you can leave. I mean, if at all you want to leave. Rest of the topics you have to be perfect. That's what the meaning. Leaving this means what? Rest of the topics you have to be 100% perfect. No compromise at all. Understood? So, risk assessment and internal control, government audit, 450, 530, 520. But remember, corporate societies audit is easy. Don't leave that. Then strategy topic. Don't leave the strategy topic. Strategy, planning and program. Don't leave this topic. But still, if at all you feel extremely difficult, if you feel that you can't revise it again and again, like it is not possible for you, if you feel like even though how many times ever you revise, you are unable to get grip on this, then keep this also on the leaving topics. The topics that you are supposed to leave. In other words, these topics you study at last. Don't touch them as per the order of study. Getting it? Clear to some extent? Okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay? Preferably, I will upload this anyhow on the YouTube also. If possible, whatever points I'm explaining here, you write, you make a note on your own. Instead of this PDF, you better note on your own. So that will be much more better. You can write in the way you can understand whatever this. Because here no, it's all clumsy. It's all clumsy, like colors and all were there. So you may not understand by looking at the PDF, bare PDF. Better you listen to this and then once again take a note of all the points whatever I told. Clear? That's it. Take care.